Okay, hey Scorpio, how's it going? So I've decided to do monthly tarot card readings for each zodiac sign. I'm a little bit late, starting in November. I'd love to blame Mercury retrograde, but I can't. I was away and I was just a bit unwell from the flight home. I think I caught a little cold, which was going around anyway. So if I'm sick, I can't read tarot. I can't do it. I need my faculties in order to be able to really see the story of the cards. So I'm going to start with Scorpio because it was requested. What I would advise people to do is to look at their rising sign and their sun sign. If you don't know your rising sign, it's very easy to find out, but you need your time of birth. You need your exact time of birth. An astrologer can work it out for you other than that, not me. So I'm going to start with Scorpio. It's Scorpio's season. Mercury retrograde is also happening in Scorpio. So there's a lot going on. It's a bit of a confusing time, feels a bit heavy. And what is it? Mars and Pluto are square as well at the moment. So there's a fair bit of aggression around. There could be a good bit of energy, like positive energy, for some people, depending on their birth charts. But like, I feel like there's just a lot of tension out there. Like people are just being very rude, which is fine. You know, it comes and it goes, and you know, maybe I'm being rude. But anyway, so I'm going to start with Scorpio. So Scorpio, let's light some incense. First of all, I'm going to burn some Palo Santo. I'm going to try and keep these readings to 20 minutes. So let's see how we go. So, yeah, my Palo Santo, I think I need I need some new Palo Santo maybe. Okay. You know. Anyway. Archangel Michael, please bless and cleanse this space. Please bless and cleanse this space. Please bless and cleanse this space. Starting every tarot card reading, as we always do with prayer. Please bless and cleanse cards. Please bless and cleanse cards. Please bless and cleanse cards. My beautiful, beautiful cards. I was home in Ireland. I've collected more cards, more of my oracle cards, more of my tarot cards, but I'm still going to use the After Tarot because I love them. And today the main crystal I have and that I want to work with is please bless and cleanse me. Please bless and cleanse me. Please bless and cleanse me. Thank you. And please bless and cleanse whoever is watching. Bless and cleanse whoever is watching. Bless and cleanse whoever is watching. Thank you. Leave that burn there for a little minute. I'm going to use the After Tarot. Oh yes, my crystals. So the main crystal I want to work with at the moment is rose quartz. Rose quartz, this is a beautiful rock of rose quartz. And I have selenite next to it. Selenite amplifies anything it's near. So I have my selenite, and it also charges the other crystals. So I have my selenite leaning against my rose quartz. And the reason I feel like working with rose quartz at the moment, like rose quartz is not at all only to do with romantic love, like at all. Rose quartz is to do with all kinds of love. Platonic love, unconditional love, romantic love, friendship love, like it doesn't matter. Your love for yourself, love, you know, it's just a beautiful crystal. And I was meditating with this crystal this morning and I just feel like, you know, that's what the whole world could do with now, is just being a little bit more, it's very soft energy as well. Like we could all do with being a bit more soft to ourselves and to each other as well, you know. So, that being said, thank you, Rose. Quartz, let us get on with the reading. So this reading is for Scorpio for the month of November 2019. What kind of energies we're dealing with, what is going on, what we can do to help ourselves, and how we can move forward using the energy that's around us. Let's just see what the cards have to say, okay? So Scorpio, 2019. Scorpio 2019. Scorpio 2019. Scorpio 2019. Take one. Scorpio 2019. Ooh. I think it's a nice card. It's the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of rest. It's a card of retreating, and it's a card of pulling back. It's a card of giving yourself a moment to have some self-care, bit of self-love. Retreat from other people, retreat from other people's nonsense. Retreat from... It's a retreat from your own thought process as well, because swords are all about thoughts, your mind, activity, you know, that kind of thing. So it's about retreating a little bit from your own chaos as well. Like, that's the thing about Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Like, Scorpio likes to dive deep, and Mercury retrograde is your thoughts. So I've spotted it with myself, and I've seen it with other people as well. People are spiraling, man. Like, their thoughts are going weird places. Weird places. And the thing is, that's just the energy that's around at the moment. And it's one that needs to be dealt with. You know, like, I'm sure this energy can be used positively for some things, you know, discussing your relationship. It's probably not a bad time, actually, to do things like that, you know, but these are relationships that are already formed. But you need to have your head about you as well. You need to be able to keep your temper in check, you know, these kind of things. And actually, the Four of Swords is saying to retreat. Retreat from all of that. Retreat from what you hear going on around you. And this is why I like this deck, because in the original tarot, there's no woman there. It's just the soldier resting after, he's not dead, he's resting after heartache, really, after war. And he's retreated into a monastery to heal and to be quiet and to turn inwards and to get away from humans. And on this card, there's a woman, and she's bringing him a white rose, and a white rose or white flower is purity of thought and purity of pure intention. So the fact that we're being asked to retreat, you know, maybe a woman can help you now. This is for some people, it's not for everyone. Maybe a woman can help you now. Maybe you've wanted to look at a spiritual woman on YouTube that you think is very touching and very beautiful, her energy, and you want to get into that. So maybe this is license for you to do that. This reading is allowing, it's saying to you, why don't you do that? Why don't you retreat and, you know, get invested in some feminine energy, or look at your own feminine energy. We all have both, men and women. We have both male and female energy. We've got all the energy. And yeah, so there might be a woman involved. That's only for some of you. For a lot of us, it's just, I'm not Scorpio, for a lot of you, it's about retreating, minding your own energy. And retreating as well is a form of self-love. Don't ever think it isn't. Like, it's okay to retreat. And maybe you need to retreat from the woman. You know, if she's blonde and she's wrecking her head, maybe that's it, because it's a blonde lady. But I don't think so, because she's here to help. But maybe for some of you. So that's our first card, retreat. What else can we have for Scorpio for 2019, please? Yeah, okay. So you've been under a lot of pressure. And I think you feel like you've failed a bit. And like that you can't really see a way forward. You know, like, this is the 10 of Wands, and this is a card of burden, but here he's dropped all the wands, you know what I mean? Which is kind of the point of this card. You're supposed to pick one or two. Wands represent your creativity. You're supposed to pick one or two to focus on. But sometimes he looks relieved to me, but this time he looks disappointed. So I feel like you guys feel maybe like that's, you know, you can't retreat because you've got too much going on. But you can't see where you're going. And if you have so much going on and you can't see where you're going, you know, decisions don't get made when we're in that kind of energy of like, you know, we're all up here and everything is just, we're overthinking things and we're overanalyzing and we're not breathing properly and we're not coming from our heart space and we're not making decisions from an intelligent energy. You know, we're just kind of frazzled and don't know what way to go. Like, yeah. And we have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords means a lot of different things in a lot of different readings. But for me, the Seven of Swords is always about don't let the gremlins get you down. And the gremlins are the voices in your own head. Like, you know, I can see it. You feel you failed. You feel like there's no way of moving forward. You might be in argument with a few people. Some of you might have had an argument and you feel you've just, you know, things aren't working out. You don't see the point of this. Like, the fact is that your thoughts in your head are spiraling at the moment. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And also, no matter where we are in life, no matter how well we're doing, no matter what's going on, we always have thoughts in our heads that we're stabbing ourselves in the back. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is all kinds of dishonest. He's stealing these swords, he's sneaking away, he's all these things, you know, but that energy is like, that's what it's like when you stab yourself in the back. You know what I mean? So you need to retreat in order to give yourself, you deserve a break, man. Like, you all definitely deserve a break. And the cards are telling you that you would be best to have one. Six of Cups is here again. Six of Cups is often, yeah, this is just a cycle. That's the thing. So the Six of Cups is about patterns. It's about repeating patterns. Not every tarot card reader reads the Six of Cups this way. This is what it means for me always. And this whole, I can just see the lack of understanding in these four cards. And it's a cycle. It's an endless cycle. So unless you trust yourself enough to retreat and take a break from people, take a break from their expectations, take a break from thinking relentlessly about things. Like, I know that whoever is watching this video knows that they're on a loop in their head that's got very negative sounds in it. And even reading this, even watching this, you're going to be like, I don't have time to take a break. I just need to continue on, la 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 la. You have to take a break because otherwise there is no end. This is a continuous cycle. It's not going to finish. There's a lot of swords energy here. So it's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of just what's going on in your head. And the thing is, especially if it is your life purpose or something like this you're looking for, you're not going to find it all up in this energy, because in order to discover our life's purpose, we have to be able to drop deep within ourselves using the breath. And we need to be able to breathe and give ourselves breathing space. And the thing is, once you can bring yourself down to that level of breathing properly and understanding that you do deserve a break and understanding that you need a break, once you come back to this energy, it's very easy to understand why you couldn't see the answer when you're all up here in your head, all this crazy energy, giving out to yourself, energetic loop of just negativity towards yourself. Like, the only person stabbing you in the back right now is you. For some people, it might be a person that's stabbing you in the back. And if it is, it's still the same thing. It's a pattern that you're repeating, so you need to retreat from them, and then you either need to try and fix the pattern or you have to give up and get away from people who are not helping you. Okay, so there is work to be done, but this is all very peaceful work. Like the retreat as well. This isn't a retreat to go and beat yourself up. You can write about stuff if you want, but write more about your feelings, not about your plans. Write about or write affirmations for yourself, or, you know, I'm a bit of a fan of this, write yourself a love letter. Just write yourself and say, you know, I know you've been having a hard time, but you're doing really, really well. You can write about the pattern if you want and why you feel you need to break it, or don't, you know, just keep it more about you. Try to block other people out. And the thing is as well, when I talk about retreat, I mean, you know, we all retreat differently, and some people retreat into their phones and retreat, like I like to retreat into my phone every now and again. I wouldn't deny that for a second. But sometimes when we retreat, we should really retreat from everything. I'm also excellent at turning off my phone. I will turn off my phone for days, and I will do tarot card readings, and I'll write, and I'll read. I might read fiction, might read the Dalai Lama book, Dalai Lama book. You know, there's all different ways of retreating, but really, I can feel it. Doing this reading, I can feel it. You're all so tired, and I almost feel like I want to cry, and that's not my emotion right now. So I think that there's a lot of just this kind of like almost bereft energy coming from you guys, because this cycle of giving out to yourself is very intense. And it's, you know, and it's serious. Like none of these three cards, they're not forgiving cards, you know what I mean? As in, it's not an energy of like, oh, but it's okay, you know, no. These are attack cards, these are attack energies, these are failure energies, and it's so heavy, man. Like the Six of Cups, at least, I know it's patterns and it's repeating patterns, but it's also, there is a youthful exuberance and energy to that card. So you can also, by breaking this pattern, you know, you will come out the other end, but you do have to kickstart your own healing with regards to this. You always have to kickstart your own healing anyway. And one of the ways to do it is to retreat. Retreat from everybody and everything. Even if you think it means being selfish. You know? Like, I know people are like, I can't, it's, now isn't the time, it's too selfish of me, la la. You can. Maybe it is selfish of you. So what? Take 3 hours, man. Take an evening. Take a whole day. You know, I know if you have kids, that's easier said than done. But take a few hours. Drop your kid off at school, drop them off at play school, whatever, and then take 3 hours off. And go and sit in a park and look at a tree, drink a coffee, you know, hug a tree, kiss a tree. I'm always kissing trees. I don't mind people seeing me hug trees. I don't love it when people see me kiss trees because they're like, what? But I don't get, trees are beautiful. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. Yeah, okay. So, Tarot, what else? The answer is to retreat, and I know you've been having a hard time. I can see that. I do want to keep an eye on these readings, but I'm going to keep going for a minute. Are there more? Is there more to be said here, Tarot? Will I move on to the... Is there more to be said here, Tarot? Will I move on to... I feel like that's it for tarot cards. I'll take these two. Yeah. Okay. So the Queen of Wands. Loves Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is an energy. She's a very passionate, empowered, brave. She's a bit raw. Like that's the difference between the King and the Queen of Wands at times, is that the Queen of Wands is a bit wild. You know, I dig her. And I believe in attempting to use her energy. Can't think of the word I want. Often. You know, she's someone I try to invoke. So the Queen of Wands. And then we have the Hanged Man. Hanged Man is the first card of the Major Arcana that's come out. Major Arcana, fated life events, big things that are happening in our lives. So the fact is, this retreat energy is going to do you the world of good. But, like, fact is you need to retreat. But the fact is it's not going to be a quick fix either. Like, after a few hours, you will feel better. But after a few hours of retreat, you'll feel better. But you might, the next day, then wake up feeling low again. You know, and the fact is we need to keep going. because no one's going to do it for us. And I've said this a million times, but the astrology at the moment is heavy. And the astrology for the next few months is heavy. And people are tired and they're worn out and they're broke and they're all these things. And I don't know what it's about. I mean, hopefully we'll gain some understanding of that in the future, but at the moment, it's not easy on this planet. You know what I mean? But like the fear-mongering as well. See, this is all part of this needing to retreat, that fear-mongering energy of like the bad news and reading the newspapers and everything's negative, blah, blah, blah. Like it isn't. There's also a huge number of positive things happening in the world. Positive technologies, positive biotechnologies, like positive charities and charity work, and there's positively funded industries. You know, it's not all bad, but we're being force-fed the bad so repetitively. We're not being force-fed the good. If we were, our moods would be lighter, you know? So also retreat from the bad news, man. Retreat from reading the news every morning when you wake up. Like, you know, if you read any articles on a morning routine, the first hour of your morning is really important. Don't read negative things then. Don't even go on your phone then. I stay well away from my phone for like the first 3 or 4 hours of the day. I push it as long as I can because I'm just not interested in having other people's influence on my day. My day will go as well as I want it to go. And the Queen of Wands, she's a fighter, like, you know, so you have to, again, you know, it's almost rebelling against your own attitude. Like if you feel attacked and if you feel sad and if you're attacking yourself with your thoughts, you know, you have to come at it with a bit of a like, what am I doing? This is crap. You know, like the devil would be delighted. I don't believe in the devil, but that energy, like the devil would be delighted if, you know, he doesn't have to do the work. I'm doing the work for him. I'm beating myself up and I'm telling myself I'm useless and I'm telling myself all of these things. Like the Queen of Wands is like, hang on a minute, that's crap. No way. I'm actually amazing. I'm working as hard as I can. Like I'm doing as much as I can. I don't mean working as hard as you can. You don't have to kill yourself in this life. But like, no way, you know, I'm definitely doing the best that I can and I'm living my best life. Even if right now it's not really great, I'm still trying. Like, she's like, no way, this is nonsense. I'm not taking this. You know, she's a ball of fire, like, and she'll destroy anything that she needs to as well. This is why I like this card. And this is why I like her raw energy, you know, but the fact is she came out with the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man he's kind of a delayed new beginning. So basically what I'm saying is the work that I'm talking about here is kind of continuous work and it will probably go for all of November and even on a bit further. But you have to keep the faith, you have to keep your fire lit. And the thing about keeping your fire lit is you have to do it, which sometimes is very, very hard. But you have to keep your fire lit. And the new beginnings are coming. You have to have faith. And this feminine energy, that's interesting as well. The first card out and the last card out, because there's no woman in either of these cards in the original tarot. Is a feminine energy that's helping. So for anyone, men and women, because women are very good as well at ignoring their feminine side. You know, we sometimes, I know I did when I was much younger, viewed it as weakness. You know, which obviously I know completely now that it's the opposite. But we need to remember our feminine side and remember your wild side. You know what I mean? Don't be a doormat for anyone. Don't be taking crap from anyone, including yourself, or if this person is an actual person, this guy. Nah. You know, they want, like, people want to be around this kind of energy as well, because sometimes they want to feed on it. Like, we need to understand that for what it is, which is the truth. And I will say this as well about the Hanged Man. Like, there's an air about the Hanged Man of it's a change of perspective, and sometimes it can be sacrifice, like a sacrifice, a minor change in something that you're doing that you know is bad for you, or a minor change in something that you're doing that you know is holding you back and is stopping you from stepping fully into this Queen of Wands energy, which is staying with someone like this. Or it's also what's holding you back is refusing to go and retreat. You know, if you're going to refuse to, especially if you came looking for this reading and then you say to yourself, look, I don't have time to retreat, I'm just not going to do it now, I'm not going to breathe properly, you know, I'm not going to calm down and move into my stomach my solar plexus area in order to breathe properly and to connect with myself and give myself some self-love that I really, really need. This is a self-love card, but actually both of these cards are self-love cards as well, you know. Yeah, so the Hanged Man, yeah. But it is new beginnings. You know, what you're doing now, what's being done right now is that you're building a foundation for your future success. But right now is the building time, and that's when it's hard. And it's going to be the building time for quite a while, because no matter what Pluto and Saturn do when they meet in January 2020, which is what we're working up to now, which is why the astrology is hard, no matter what they do, it's going to be very, like, shaking for people. You know, so change is coming. And what we're doing now is building up to it. And I even think sometimes that that's what part of this, like, mental torture is. Is to get us stronger, get you in the headspace. You know what I mean? Yeah. Queen of Wands as well she's an assertive energy. You know, she really sticks up for herself, the Queen of Wands. She doesn't take crap from anyone. You know, and she blazes a trail past anyone who tries to, like, patronize her or put her down or control her or whatever. She's like laughing as she burns them, you know, while she walks past. So, you know, you do need an assertive energy at this time. We all do. That's not just Scorpios, that's true of everyone. You need an assertive energy at this time. And yeah. And you do need to try and change, like, the thing is, it takes effort, and you need to try and change your perspective. And because that's what the Hangman wants as well. He wants a different perspective. Technically, he should be like this. You know what I mean? He should be standing upright as opposed to hanging around off a tree. Now, he's not really pushed that he's hanging around off a tree, but that's why it's a delayed new beginning as well. It's a delayed response because he's just hanging there. But he demands, you know, it's easier. It's an easier transition if we look for a new perspective, which is more positive. And what did I read today? And I found it interesting because I applied it to myself today and it was interesting. What was I talking about? New perspective? Oh yes, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We have to flip it around and say, what can I learn from this happening to me? It's not about why is it happening to you, it is happening to you. Why is it, like, you know, we need to look at what we can learn from it so that we can stop this from happening to us. You know, the mind meld. But part of what you need to do is you need to be assertive and you need to take breaks. And I would think, because this is a monthly reading, that you need to take regular breaks. Like, it's a retreat period now for Scorpio. So respect yourself, respect your energy levels. I'd say as well you all feel exhausted. I would think that the Scorpios just feel wrecked right now. Obviously you've been very busy, there's been a lot going on. A lot of it it could be for many reasons, but you know, it could be from dealing with people as well. And you just need to accept that, like we all need to respect our cycles, our ebb and flow. And yeah, so you need to just accept that you're in a cycle now that is a bit tired maybe and needs a bit more rest than usual and needs to be kind to themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but you have to do it. I'm very good at respecting my own cycles, like, because no one else is going to do it if I don't. And if I'm wrecked, I can't give anything. That's why I couldn't do my tarot card readings before now. I wasn't well, and to be honest, even this one I've kind of zoned out at the odd second. I'm sure you caught that. But I feel good, and I feel, you know, ready to do this reading, and I feel like this has been a very good reading, but it's saying, it's got a very clear message, you know. Retreat, be assertive, you know, and look for the lessons as opposed to feeling victimized, because at the moment I think we could all feel victimized, you know, and like I'm on the privileged end of life and still I could feel like, you know. Okay, Scorpio, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to leave it there. Look after yourselves. I wish you mucho love. Please like and share the video if you want to. Even if you want to just share it as private messages to people who are Scorpio or Scorpio rising. Or Scorpio moon. Your moon sign is very important as well. But it's been a pleasure. I love reading tarot for people. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and feel free to have a very nice, peaceful, calm day. You know, buy yourself a crystal, go home, take a bath, lock the door, turn off your phone, 3 hours. You know, sit in your bed after your bath, have a cup of tea. 3 hours, man. Read a little book. Whatever. Take it easy. Okay. See you later, Scorpio.